Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of September 7th through the 13th. And during that time, we will have a full moon that comes in on the 8th. And that can be a time of heightened emotions, a time when we feel a little anxious or overwhelmed, snappy, irritable for some. There could be a change in your sleeping patterns. I know that's something that I cannot sleep during a full moon. I find that I just wake up and there's the moon in my window and try to sleep. But it's a good time to really practice patience and calm. It's just kind of a little reminder for us every month to do that. And take advantage of, if you're energetic in a positive way, like I am, take advantage of it, do those things, use that energy in some positive way, hopefully creativity, something fun. We then move into the waxing gibbous, and that is a good time for self-reflection and rebirth as that moon kind of loses its light and starts to wind down. A good time to make positive changes, get rid of bad habits and negative thinking, and just kind of work on achieving your goals and accomplishments. So keep those moon energies in mind, Capricorn, as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. And Capricorn, your overall message for this reading, which two cards wanted to come out, so we will take them. The energy is gaining momentum, is the first card, and surrender to the divine. All right, let's see what the Capricorn Collective has going on for the week with those two moon cards popping out for you. As I'm shuffling, I would like to say that since my readings are free to you, Capricorn, all that I ask in return is that you hit that subscribe button. It really helps my channel, and it's super easy for you to do. So I will give you a moment right now while I'm shuffling to get that accomplished. Thank you so much. And if you've been a subscriber, thank you for coming back and helping me build a community here. I see you and I do appreciate you. So thank you so much. My fun weekly reminder this week is that you meditate. So, take a little time this week and just let yourself meditate, especially if you need to do that calming during the full moon. Of course, after, if it's that time of self-reflection, a good time to just, get somewhere, take a few moments for yourself if you can, quiet your mind and your body and just go inward and explore. So that is my fun weekly reminder for the week. All right, Capricorn, let's get into this reading. September 7th through the 13th. The energy is gaining momentum. Surrender to the divine. Your present energy, King of Cups. So whatever is going on with you energetically, you're doing things in a very balanced and controlled emotional way. I feel like you have control of your emotions at this time, and not only your own, but you're able to see the people around you and kind of where their emotional influences are. And you're probably being a calming, what's the word? Like you're inspiring calm and steady, steadfast emotions in others as well by your leading example. So that's very nice. Good way to start this off. Your current situation is King of Wands. So, wow, two royalty cards coming out. So, not only are you very calm, but you're also very knowledgeable in something that you're very passionate about. And so, if there's some kind of energy gaining momentum there, it could be, but you're doing so in a very calm manner. And again, you have this knowledge about you that other people will come to for advice. Other people, especially when it comes to this particular passion, but also, to ask you, how are you maintaining your emotional calm through this? And I feel like, let's say that your passion is finances, that you're in finance for your career. And that's your passion. That's what you've learned about. That's what you know about. And, maybe there's some crazy upset in the market, but you just maintain this calm. And people come to you and want to know how are you maintaining that calm? So that isn't the exact situation, but that tarot is a template. So something in which you are passionate, but you remain calm in adversity, I guess is what I'm saying. And other people look up to that and seek out that information from you on how to be more like you. At the root of your situation is the Nine of Cups. So a little bit of self-indulgence in something this week and kind of just feeling self-satisfied. And it could be, it's kind of that feeling of like, well, I was right. I told you so. So whatever that is, we'll see. And again, I feel like it is because the background of that is because you've taken the time to be very knowledgeable about something. But if you need to, take some time to indulge, a little self-care is not that a little bit goes a long way, right? In your recent past is the Nine of Pentacles. So you're coming from a place of enjoying the fruits of your labor. I don't see that. I just feel like this entire reading so far, now it says the energy is gaining momentum. I feel of just a calm, a very, very calm something here, right? And so now we also have two nines on the table. So you might want to look up angel number 99 and see if that means anything to you. What is on your mind is the Queen of Pentacles. So look at all the royalty. So on your mind is, now we've got these kings, and I mean, can we bring out a king or a queen now of let's see, what would be of swords would be the only missing one here. Queen of Pentacles. So on your mind here is understanding about the material world, the financial world, how things work. But again, it's not only you. This is also understanding things for your kingdom. I mean, for some of you, maybe you are, not only maybe the leader of your family, of course, but maybe the leader in a company, or some sort of volunteer program or something. There's something that like you're in charge of a lot of other people and you have other people looking up to you. And so, maybe this is just a really busy time for you right now, but again, you are calm through this adversity and you have this understanding through this adversity as well. Also, this other card, let's not forget, surrender to the divine. So, I also feel like your spiritual self is intact and you do things in a way that is that is coordinates with your spiritual way of doing things, right? So that you're in the world, not of the world, but you are in the world doing things in a way that aligns with your spiritual beliefs. So that's always pretty awesome too. What is just ahead of you is the Page of Pentacles. So now we're starting to be surrounded by pentacles, and it could be that this is about some new investment, some new thing, something new, some new side hustle, or some new way of obtaining money. Again, if you're in a charitable thing, or if you're a business owner, that it's maybe a new venture, a new vein in which you will go off and try to bring money into your company. So some sort of new thing that is ahead of you. And it could just be inspired by this calm, like you feel like you've accomplished things, you're just feeling very confident, and that could be spurring on, well, if I'm confident here, let's take off and do this other new venture. Maybe it's time to branch out and learn something new and do something new. And your advice position here is to use your inner strength with the or with the eight. I don't know why that was important for me to say. Do we have any other eights? No. With the eight of the major arcana here, the strength card. So, your advice is through all of this. And again, I do feel like I don't even see adversity on the table, but I'm getting that there is um that there is some sort of adversity afoot, and just maybe in the world. It's not something that's specific to you, but it's something that you're kind of guiding a group through, which is interesting. But you're going to be strong. You're going to use your inner strength. I mean, I don't see anything here that tells me that you're not anything but that. So again, surrender to the divine. If you're feeling like you need to be strong through certain things or help other people, kind of hold their hand and guide them through, then go ahead and be that and do that. That looks like you're being called to do that. What is beyond your control this week is the Chariot, as you get ready to make some sort of move. Again, is it getting ready to make a move here with a new material or financial path? That could be, and you could just be kind of in that information gathering mode. Um, hmm. Interesting. Okay, let's keep going here. Secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid. King of Pentacles. Look at all the royalty and all the pentacles showing up here. So, your secret desire is to get to this place where not only do you have this understanding of the Queen of Pentacles and this understanding of just kind of how things work, but you are really increasing your knowledge when it comes to that. And just really becoming just the master of all of of everything in your material world. And I get this feeling that it is something, and even though this is male energy, it doesn't have to be about a male. This could very much be a woman. I mean, I've worked for women that run companies, and they're amazing business people. And they do master so many nuances of what they do. Some of these people have been just fascinating to me, not something that I've ever done or even think that I could do. Even though running a family and raising four kids kind of feels like that, like you're running a little company, but I've just been blown away by how some of the women that I've worked for have been amazing, and just their knowledge and their maternal way of going about things, very fair. It's been a journey. So, but that, is this your secret desire, is to move into this King of Pentacles? Because wow, I mean, can you master anything else? King of Cups, King of Wands, King of Pentacles. um again, the one thing that is missing here is swords. We'll see if the sword comes out. We've got a couple more spots here, but and very, very interesting too. I always like to look at what is missing. We'll see at the end of this reading. What is your outcome? Oh, well, there's the swords. Okay, so your outcome is that you get to a point where maybe you are feeling a little bit stuck, a little bit stuck. I don't think that it's going to be hard for you to work your way out of it. We also now have two eights on the table, so that eight was so 88, 99. A lot of royalty, a lot of concern about other people. And so I'm also feeling like that this stuck, and this, how did we get here? I do think it's a we. I don't think it's for just you. I think you are thinking really about another group, like a group of people that you are leading or are in charge of. Again, it could be a company, it could be a family, it could be some charity, it could be your church. It's something that you have a lot of say in how things go and how things play out. And the question is surrender to the divine. I mean, what is the where you're exactly where you should be right now at this moment. That's the way that works. But I'm sure questioning, if you're feeling like you're stuck somewhere, or questioning how did we get here, and why did we get here? What is the big picture? What is the big lesson? What is hidden from you this week, Capricorn, is the Lover's card. So interesting. Maybe, we'll first say that if this represents some relationship, it's just not the forefront of your being this week. You are very focused on this other thing, this other passion that you do. Again, it could be work, it could be play, it could be some passion project, but you are not focused on a relationship at this time. And you may just need to, because it's hidden and because you're so focused on this may just be a reminder to be like, hey, don't forget that you do have a partner, and let's check in with your partner, even though you're very busy. Take that time to get some eye contact, to get with each other, even if it's just to say, hey, I'm having a crazy week, there's stuff going on, I'm trying to lead these people through, my mind is somewhere else. Let me make a date with you next week, and we'll discuss it. Just make sure that you're touching base with that person. But also what this could be is that not only is this about the Lovers being the obvious thing about the Lovers, but it's also a card of duality. And if that's something that is hidden from you this week, you're seeing these areas of control that you have. And again, because there's so many, because we're really looking at a lot of court cards here, to me, it always represents that it's your kingdom that you're concerned about. It's the people around you. Um, think about the duality of that. And by that, I mean, and you're probably good at this anyway, but don't forget to put yourself in someone else's shoes. So while you're making decisions and you're moving chess pieces around the board in the corporate way, or in a way that a director or a manager does, make sure that you are touching base with the human part of that, is that the other side of that coin, that of course you're making decisions for a particular reason. And sometimes maybe your underlings or people that work for you are like, why are we changing? Why are we, make sure those people are also aware of why those changes are being made. Just kind of do that explanation. So you're just not making rapid changes and leaving people to pick up the pieces, because you've made these changes for a reason that they don't understand. Did that make sense? That was a lot of rambling. So let's get a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message for Capricorn as they lead some people through some rough waters, it looks like here. Any other advice? Do what you love. I get the feeling you do that anyway. Again, I'm going to say that, these swords showed up here. What didn't show up in the royalty was a sword, which means and anytime something's missing, it makes me think, is that something also you need to be thinking about or working about? And it is, think about the way, like I was talking about, making sure your underlings or the people that you are leading know what's going on. That the sword's missing, and that's about communication. So make sure you are communicating that very clearly and being sensitive to those changes. If you're making changes that affect other people, being sensitive to at least hearing what they have to say about that, get their feedback. Because if you're making changes and you need to understand where they're coming from too, why changes would affect them, and it might affect your outcome in a negative way. So the people actually doing the work know the answers there. So make sure you're listening and using that sword energy, that communication energy, to not only communicate well but listen as well. Okay, let's get a self-care card for Capricorn. What does Capricorn need to do in the way of self-care this week? Okay, the card that comes up here is optimism. If you're going to make up stories in your head about people and circumstances, please make them love stories with happy endings. So, yeah, that's that communication that I'm talking about. Make sure that you have all the information before you make the changes and the decisions. And if this means, just polling people, talking to people, pulling them aside, hey, I'm thinking about, you're telling me about this part of your job or this part of your work, it's something that you're thinking about changing. Just make sure that you understand what's working for them, what's not working for them. It'll help you and help everybody be on the same page if you make changes that everybody can get behind, right? All right, Capricorn, I wish you the best of luck with this. I hope there was something here that you can take away and use in your week. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a message down below and let me know, what is it that you're going through? Are you leading a group of people through something? Are you facing challenges and obstacles and making big changes? Are you trying to do things that are in line with your spiritual being and way of doing things? And, what is this energy that's gaining momentum? I'm just so curious to know. Anyway, if you like my reading style, of course, please hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel. And most importantly, Capricorn, it'll help you find me next week and we'll see where this story goes. So good luck with all this. Thanks so much. See you next time. Bye-bye.